Established wisdom says never play creatures in Lantern control, but today I'm bucking tradition by playing Orcish Bowmasters in my traditional Lantern build. Will it be any good? Let's find out. Hello everybody, welcome to Fateseal MTG. I am Crex, your host, and today I am trying something just a little bit different. So I have noticed there is a lot of additional card draw in the meta right now, between things like Ketramos and Psychic Frog, and honestly even Boros Energy starting to play things like Fable of the Mirror Breaker and Seasoned Pyromancer. I was looking for ways to punish this card draw, and I wasn't really finding many good options. I was looking for ways to punish these card draws, and I wasn't finding very much in black and green. I found lots of options in blue and white, namely, what's that card? Spirit of the Labyrinth. And I also found, what's that Planeswalker thing? It's like Narset Parter of Veils, I think. But those are very good at stopping your opponents from drawing additional cards. But they're not in the colors that I wanted to play. So the only option really in black is Orcish Bowmasters. And I was intrigued by this because Orcish Bowmasters sees quite a bit of play in the modern format, and it has quite a bit of utility as well on its own when your opponent's not drawing cards. Lantern doesn't play creatures. Lantern doesn't want creatures at all, because the whole point of the deck is to blank as much of your opponent's cardboard as you possibly can, and then use the Lantern Lock to take care of the rest. If you're playing Orcish Bowmasters, then you're turning on targets for Fatal Push, for Galvanic Discharge, for things like that. And I don't know, like, you go to the Discord and you say, I want to play Orcish Bowmasters, and then the first thing out of everyone's mouth is, but it's a creature, why would you play it? The thing that I want to test today is one card that makes two creatures and also pings something when it enters, good enough for Lantern specifically. I know that Orcish Bowmasters can eat a Fatal Push or a Bolt or something like that, but if it does, it still creates that little bit of value. It still takes down a chump, and it creates a chump of its own that can, I don't know, block something for a turn. Maybe if you get lucky, it'll trade with something. So I don't know if this is going to be good enough or not, but it seems like it might be good situationally, especially if you're against something like a Ketramos deck and they're going off and they're drawing a bunch of cards. Then you can actually use Orcish Bowmasters to machine gun their board, or even machine gun their face if you think you might be able to win with direct damage, which is actually something that I was able to accomplish with one of my testing games when I was testing out this deck and fine-tuning everything. So I don't know if this is going to be good. This is a theory that I am testing, and today's league is going to be actually seeing if this is worth it or not. So the rest of the deck is very similar to the version 4.3.0 that I had. I think I might have cut a land. No, I don't think I cut a land. I cut some things. I cut some random things in order to make room for the Bowmasters. I think it might have been a Pithing Needle, a trophy, and something else. I don't remember. But I've got room for Bowmasters, and I want to try Bowmasters. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get a league started for y'all. I will be right back. All right, we have started round 1 versus Mog Flunkies. I will be on the play. This is a very interesting hand. I could go Lantern, Pyxis, Saga for Opal, Inquisition. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see if this is good. My opponent is mulling to 6. I think I'm going to lead on Bauble and check my top card. That's a land. I definitely want that. So I think I will lead on Lantern here. And we've got a Puke Forest on my opponent's side of the table. They play their Puke Forest, and they Zenith for a Dryad Arbor. So this build is not playing main deck Grafdigger's Cage, so I'm going to have to be a bit careful with what I'm doing. Now, the question is, do I Inquisition my opponent now off of this Verdant Catacombs, or do I just play double Pyxis? I think I kind of just want to Inquisition them now. I don't think that I need to be worried about the constructs from Urza's Saga. Interesting. They have a Boseiju in hand. So they have double Yawgmoth, which is going to kind of suck. But they don't currently have any black sources. So I might actually try and cut them off of black here. I will definitely be taking the Dredger's Insight, and now I will follow up with the Pyxis. So I believe that my strategy here is to cut my opponent off of black. They're just going to play their Wall of Roots, that's fine. And I like all of the cards that are on top of everyone's decks right now, so I'm going to just keep it as is. Even if I let them have this Delighted Halfling, they won't have double black, so I think that's okay. I am going to float mana here, and I'm actually going to grab a Pithing Needle for that Boseiju who endures. I don't need Mox Opal because I have this black source here. So now I need to decide, am I going to try and go after my opponent's Yawgmoths and just hope to hit another Thoughtseize, or am I going to go after my opponent's black sources? I think I'm going to go after their black sources temporarily, at the very least until I can get another Pithing Needle off of this Urza's Saga here. So I am going to take Endurance, and I'm going to strand those Yawgmoths in their hand. And now I just have an absolute metric ton of card draw here. I think I will attempt to mill myself into a land of some sort. They played their Delighted Halfling immediately. They played Boseiju as a land, which is a best case scenario for me, I think. Now, they don't have a way of casting this Orcish Bowmasters, but I pretty badly want a land here. That is a Grist. Do I think I can fight a Grist? I'm going to see what the top card of my deck is first. And I am just going to create the construct now because I know that I want to do so anyway. Do I want to attempt to fight a Grist? What can they do with it? They can sack one of their dopes and destroy my construct. Yeah, I think I'll take the Grist. That's fine. This Delighted Halfling is going to allow them to cast their Yawgmoths next turn, but I'm going to grab my second Pithing Needle off of this Urza's Saga that's about to pop, and I'm just not going to worry about it. All right, Pithing Needle, and name Yawgmoth. Play my land for turn, and swing with a construct. They're going to play a Yawgmoth Thrawn position. They're going to leave that Court of Culling on top, and now I am most certainly the beatdown. Yeah, I don't want them having that. Young Wolf is fine. Urza's Saga on my end is also fine. Yeah. I'm going to swing. This is a lethal attack. They have to block at least one of these. And they give up the Ghost. We like to see that. This is a very good example of how Urza's Saga can take over a game. Now, I probably would have been just fine if I had an Ensnaring Bridge, but I didn't have an Ensnaring Bridge. Instead, I had land drops, and my land drops won me the game. So let's go ahead and start sideboarding here. Orcish Bowmasters is not going to be as good. They don't draw a ton of cards unless they're actively comboing off, which I guess might actually work. Wouldn't I rather have another Pithing Needle in my deck just to turn off Yawgmoth? Torpor Orb might work. Grafdigger's Cage is currently in the side. That needs to get into the main deck. So what do I have that I care about? Do I think they're going to be burning me out? They might have some Blood Artist shenanigans that I would have to be aware of. Duress, I'm not convinced is better than just Thoughtseize in this particular scenario, so I'm going to be bringing in Thoughtseize. I could bring in some number of Torpor Orb. What would that do? That would shut off the Undying, I believe. Yuki has a very good point here that the Meat Hook Massacre is also useful against Yawgmoth. So I think I will actually bring in a Meat Hook Massacre, and I will take out an Underworld Cookbook. If they're going to be machine gunning me, then the Meat Hook Massacre is about as useful as Cookbook is anyway. And this hand is not keepable. I have to mulligan this. This hand is definitely keepable. I'm going to bottom the second Lantern. My opponent has shocked in an Overgrown Tomb and has played a Delighted Halfling. I draw my third land, which is nice. Do I want to lead on Grafdigger's Cage? I think I will, actually. If they're going to be doing a turn 2, I don't know, like a Green Sun Zenith for Collector Oof or something, then this Grafdigger's Cage shuts that off. They're just swinging with their Delighted Halfling and playing an Agatha's Soul Cauldron. That's a bit spooky. The spooky-ooky there. Ooh, Urza's Saga. That's a very good land to draw. Okay, so I've played my Urza's Saga. I'm going to play a Lantern of Insight off of that. They have Grist on top of their deck, and I have a Pyxis on top of mine. I might be able to do some shenanigans with the Meat Hook Massacre here. I'm just not exactly sure what shenanigans. I don't even know if I'm going to be playing Pyxis next turn. I think I'm just going to let everything lie as it is. So they have a Grist in hand. They play a Puke Swamp. Are they going to cast Grist off of it? Are they going to cast Yawgmoth, perhaps? This looks like a 4-mana play for something. It is a Force of Vigor. Yep. All right. Hard cast Force of Vigor, huh? Well, in that case, I'm definitely popping my Mishra's Bauble here. I'm going to draw this Pyxis, and I'm also going to draw a Marsh Flats. I'm going to play out my Blooming Marsh here. I probably should have played out the Overgrown Tomb. Oh well, because I could have just played that tapped. So my opponent has a Grist in hand. They currently don't have any creatures in their graveyard, and I think I kind of want to keep it that way. I think I will exile this Dredger's Insight that's on top of their deck, even though it will cost me a Fomori Vault. Like, Fomori Vault is fine. Oh, I just put him into a Yawgmoth. All right. Maybe I could have Lantern Shuffled there, but I don't really think they have enough material to go off with right now. Theoretically, the Meat Hook Massacre can answer this Yawgmoth, but it's just not going to anytime soon. There's a Profane Tutor on top of my deck. I don't know if I want that. And I believe I will... This is interesting. They could sacrifice this Delighted Halfling in an attempt to draw that Green Sun's Zenith. I wonder if that would be any good. If they do draw the Green Sun Zenith, they might just go get Collector Oof, and then I sweep it up with this Meat Hook Massacre later. They have 2 unknown cards in hand. I think I might just let them... I think I might just fight over the Green Sun Zenith on their upkeep, but I'm not convinced that I fight any further than just tapping my Pyxis. Wow, that is a weird walking ballista. Can I afford for them to draw that? Can I afford for them to draw that? I think I might have to. I have a Lantern. I could use it to shuffle their deck if I wanted. I think I'm going to shuffle. I have the spare Lantern. I just want them to draw a blank right now. That's fine. Ah, they have a Dredger's Insight anyway. Okay. So they're going to mill 4 cards here, and they got a Delighted Halfling out of it. They got a Wastewood Verge. Okay. And they played it as a land for turn. They're playing a white legendary spell of some sort. Or maybe they're just mistapped their Delighted Halfling. Yeah. There's Grist. Okay. Grist is now officially down. I'm going to be taking 2 damage here. And they have 1 card in hand that I don't know about. But as things stand right now, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. I think I do want to draw this Ancient Stirrings, though. So I'm going to draw the Ancient Stirrings. I'm going to fetch with Marsh Flats. I'm going to shock in this Overgrown Tomb, which is going to cost me some life. And then I am going to play Meat Hook Massacre on 2. This will sweep up their Insect Token and their Delighted Halfling. But they are just going to sack their board to draw cards here. I think that's fine. They're going to make their Delighted Halfling bigger so it doesn't die. Okay, that's fine. They're going to draw a forest. I could exile with Pyxis right now, which would keep the Walking Ballista out of their graveyard. If I do that, then they have the option of sacrificing the Delighted Halfling to draw a card. I don't like this Marsh Flats on top of my deck anyway. I think I'm going to do it. I'm gonna see if they fight over this. They did not fight over that. They milled an Orcish Bowmasters. Ooh, that's a Chord Calling. I really don't want them drawing that, but I don't think I have a choice here. I'd have to sacrifice my Lantern, and then my next turn would look like Pyxis Stirrings, maybe? I'm gonna gain a life here. I don't think I should fight over this. I'm gonna let them draw the Chord. I'm gonna rely on this Meat Hook Massacre to save me from getting comboed out. So they're just gonna make their Yawgmoth bigger. I'm going to be taking 5 here down to 10. They still have a card in hand that I don't know about, and I don't like that. So I'm going to Stirrings here, and I'm going to see what I find. It would be lovely if I could find an Ensnaring Bridge, and I did. First Ensnaring Bridge of the match. So that's going to take the immediate pressure off of me. I don't know if it's going to solve all of my problems, though. I think I'm still having quite a bit of trouble. This Orcish Bowmasters is going to give them a decent chunk of fuel for their Yawgmoth. Oh, I think I might actually know their entire hand. I think it might be Underground Mortuary and Yawgmoth here. And this is just going to be a Collector Oof, I think. If this is a Collector Oof, then I'm in trouble, I think. Oh, it's even worse. Okay. It's an Outland Liberator. Well, I'm glad I know about that. And now everything has become an Outland Liberator. They're going to destroy the Ensnaring Bridge. All right, I'm willing to wrap it up here. Yeah, they were just going to go ahead and swing out. And I was probably going to die. Okay, well, I didn't check their hand to start out with, and I think that that was kind of a big deal. That Force of Vigor hitting the Grafdigger's Cage hurt pretty badly. And now I know that they have an Outland Liberator at the very least. Yeah, Torpor Orbs I don't think are going to come in. I might just keep it as is. I would bring in Extirpate, but I'm just not convinced that there's a good spot to put it in. I think I'm just going to submit as is. Oh, this hand has 5 lands, a Bauble, and a Stirrings. I can't in good conscience keep that. This hand has 4 discard spells, 2 lands, and a Shredder. I think I'll keep this and I'll bottom a Thoughtseize. What a wild hand. It has entirely too much discard in it. Maybe not entirely too much discard. So I could take my opponent's Delighted Halfling, and I could... They would play their Young Wolf, and the next turn I'd take their Chord of Calling. But they already have so many lands. Like, they're not going to be land starved at all. So if I take the Young Wolf, then that's at least a combo piece out of their hand. Young Wolf is down. Okay, so they played their Wastewood Verge, they played their Delighted Halfling, which I knew about. And now I have a lock, because I just randomly top-decked a Lantern of Insight. I might just play my Lantern. That is a Grist. But I do pretty badly want this Pyxis. But I also don't want them having that Grist. So I think I might just Overgrown Tomb here and shred them. Dredger's Insight is not fun. They're just immediately casting it. Yeah, I finally am out of winter, so I'm able to open my windows and stuff, so I'm getting in a lot of natural light. That might help too. They're going to mill 4 cards. They milled some things that matter. I'm not convinced all of those things matter. They chose Orcish Bowmasters. Verdant Catacombs. Orcish Bowmasters is good. I'm going to draw another land here. That Urza Saga is a pretty good pickup if I can keep it on top of my deck. Let's see what that last card in hand is. It's a Yawgmoth, huh? So I think here I'm going to take their Chord. I'm going to not mill because I might rely on them fetching with Verdant Catacombs here. And then I'm going to Thoughtseize away that Yawgmoth. So Yawgmoth and Chord are down. They didn't fetch on their upkeep or on my end step, which is unfortunate. Green Sun Zenith, really? All right, you got a Green Sun Zenith. I might have shuffled to take that Zenith away, but I'm just not sure that that was correct. Now they're just going to Zenith me. X equals 2. Collector Oof. Outland Liberator. Outland Liberator. So this is whenever it attacks, it can destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls. That's pretty scary. I think I am falling behind here. I think I should have probably sacrificed my Lantern to keep them off of that. And again, this is a spot where Pyxis would be really nice, because now I have to dig myself into a spell of some sort to keep this thing from flipping, and I end up losing my Lantern anyway. I think this just won them the game. I think I should have shuffled their deck with Lantern. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. I should have been less attached to this Lantern because I'm going to end up losing it anyway. I'm going to shuffle here. They're going to be able to get another Zenith. Grafdigger's Cage. Yeah, I'll take it. They can very easily blow this up if they want to. Oh, they shuffled. Interesting. I think this game is over. I think I lost it. I think it was because I didn't make them shuffle. Yeah, whatever I draw here, it just doesn't really matter. They're going to Orcish Bowmasters me in the end step. And this Mishra's Bauble just shouldn't really draw a card, I think. Yeah, that's bad news, Bears. And it still has the sack to destroy. Okay, I'll go ahead and wrap up here. I don't think that there's any point in playing out this game. Geez, that's really unfortunate too. I could have possibly played this a bit better and not had this Frenzied Trap Breaker or Outland Liberator or whatever it is. Just not had this be an issue. I should have given up my Lantern of Insight though. Maybe I would have just lost the game in a different way if I had shuffled, but at the very least, the way that I had it, it just wouldn't have worked. All right, well, let's go ahead and move on to round 2. I hope you're enjoying the video. If you like watching me play and discuss Lantern Control, consider subscribing so you can get notified of my videos and live streams. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, we are on round 2 versus the Gimp. I will be on the play again, and this is an interesting hand. We're going to test out Orcish Bowmasters, and let's just test out Orcish Bowmasters, yeah? Yes. Leyline of the Guild Pact. That's probably going to hit almost... So Bowmaster's probably not going to do much against this opponent. Going to see what's on top of my deck. That is a Shredder. I kind of want this Shredder. I'm going to play Verdant Catacombs, and I'm going to draw the Shredder. And then I'm going to just grab a Surveil land here. My opponent just played a Rainbow land. Let's grab my Underground Mortuary, see what's on top of my deck here. Second Ensnaring Bridge. I believe I actually will keep this. Let's play out a Blooming Marsh. Pass turn. Wow, they're fetching. Do they have lands in hand and they're trying to thin or something? Are they not relying on this Leyline of the Guild Pact being around? I am presenting, you know, very good enchantment removal here. Just surprised that that is not... you know, still around, like they fetched with it. It's very surprising for me. First strike, hexproof, lifelink, trample, vigilance, huh? That's a lot of keywords. All right, Orcish Bowmasters number 1 comes down. And now I'm going to just hardcast Ensnaring Bridge while the opportunity is there. It's pretty much free for them to attack with this thing. I'm just going to take the hit. Ren in 6, huh? That's interesting. Well, that explains why they fetched with their Flooded Strand. Do I Thoughtseize now? Or do I save that? I think I'm going to save it. I think I'm going to play out... Oh, which of these things do I play out? I think I'm going to play out Shredder. And I'm going to hold open Bowmasters. Well, I'm glad I played out Shredder there, because if they had surveilled to top with their Thundering Falls, then I would have been able to take the surveil. I don't think it really matters that much, though. Surprise! Second Bowmasters. Going to ping down their Ren and 6 here. And if they don't play any creatures, then I absolutely will suicide all my stuff into that Ren and 6. Ooh, Dryad of the Elysian Grove, huh? Now I'm less convinced that I should be suiciding into the Ren and 6. I would take 1 loyalty off of it and lose my entire board. I think I'm just going to keep things as is. Okay, I am going to fire off a single discard spell. I'm going to make it an Inquisition here. If they have a Spell Pierce or something, then I probably pay for it. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. Leyline of the Guild Pact, Scion of Draco, and Wooded Foothills. Okay, so my opponent needs to do something good. They need to top deck a Leyline Binding here. Just gonna leave my stuff back. And I think I will continue to take 2 a turn from this Dryad of the Elysian Grove, just to afford myself the opportunity to hold Waste, Thoughtseize and Bridge in hand. They've got an Arid Mesa in their hand now. They're hard casting an Omnath Locus of Creation, huh? All right. Well, I'm going to ping down your Renin 6. And they are going to wipe my board with this Omnath. I feel like they could have played that differently. They could have possibly wiped my board before the ping happened if they were willing to sacrifice all of their fetch lands. This is 4 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker you don't control. Oh, it doesn't wipe my board. It just deals 4 to me. I thought it did 4 to every creature in addition to that. So they cannot escape this Flage quite yet. They need to sacrifice an additional fetch land to do that. That is a Wrath of the Skies as their last card in hand, huh? Okay. Sure. That will kill my Orc army, my Bowmasters, my Shredder, and my Cookbook, but leave... Oh, wait, no. I forgot. It's not what X is. It's just the amount of energy that they pay. Okay. Well, you can wipe everything. Yikers. Yeah, I needed a lock in place. Glad that I saved this Ensnaring Bridge, huh? Right, Scion of Draco's down. Let's go ahead and just land Ensnaring Bridge now. Orcish Bowmasters did a little bit of work against this Renin 6. It's made it so that it hasn't gotten to its ultimate quite yet. Ah, all right. Well, if you just top deck Leyline Binding, then there's not much I can do about that right now. Okay, well, that was absolutely brutal. So we've got some sort of cross between Domain Zoo and Omnath Elementals. This is a very interesting deck. I kind of like this a lot. It's going to be relatively difficult to fight, I think. I believe I keep in my Orcish Bowmasters. I think I also want to bring in Assassin's Trophy to hit their Flages. Not necessarily their Flages, I guess, but to hit their Renin 6s, their Stony Silences, their Omnaths, things like that. What do I take out? I don't know if I take out Pithing Needle. 2 is already running a little bit low on that. Underworld Cookbook is good in certain situations, but I might side that out. Huh. Do I really want to keep in the Orcish Bowmasters? They don't have many creatures that I could hit with this. Like, it was good at Renin 6, pinging it down. I'm just not convinced that that's good enough. Might bring in my Extirpates. I could see myself bringing in Extirpates. All right, I'm going to try this. If I can take the Wrath of the Skies out of their deck, then that might actually win me a game. Okay, I would like to be on the play, thank you. With this hand, it's a bit risky, but I'll keep it. I need a 3rd land with this hand for sure. Leyline of the Guild Pack is down. I'm going to Inquisition my opponent, see what's up. That is double Renin 6. I could extirpate their Renin 6s. I think I'm going to do that. Would love to draw a black land this turn if possible. I guess I could wait until next turn to draw that land. They kept the card on top of their deck. I think I'm just going to play out Urza Saga, and I'm just going to extirpate their Renin 6 on their draw step. Really do not want to have to deal with that right now. Oh, they drew a Scion of Draco? Are you serious? All right. Well, that means that they are officially in beatdown mode. That stinks. Scion of Draco is down. Renin 6 is out of their hand. Mountain and Wooded Foothills is in there as well. Okay, and what do they have in their main deck? Stock-ups are terrifying. Wrath of the Skies is terrifying. Scapeshift is terrifying. They've got 4 Valakuts in their main deck. That's terrifying. I'm going to eventually need an answer to the Leyline. How many of their lands are mountains? Without Leyline, they have... Those are all fetches. 1 mountain. That's not a mountain. 2 mountains. 4 mountains. 7 mountains. 8 mountains. So they could... Oh, 9 mountains. They have 1 in their hand. So they have 9 mountains, which is more than enough mountains to just naturally get to Valakut. All right. Yeah, I'm going to have to just let that go, I think. Damn. That sucks. That Scion of Draco top deck was really good. But this is why we play Surveil lands in our decks. I did draw the land, it just wasn't the one that I wanted. I think I might just suspend Profane Tutor here. I'm going to be taking some damage off of this Scion. I don't know, this isn't looking particularly hot, is it? They play Valakut tapped. They're fetching. Surveil land, maybe? Surveil land, okay. They put Sacred Foundry into their graveyard. That is a land. So what I might do here is I might grab a Mox Opal and then, I don't know if Mox Opal is actually useful here. I might grab a Grafdigger's Cage. Try and prevent this Flage from getting off the ground. And then next fetch, I can grab a Mox Opal. I think for sure I'm creating a token here. I'm going to save that token, I think. Just kind of want this Assassin's Trophy down, you know? But I have Marsh Flats that I can use to fetch the Shockland, so I don't think I need to go about that. I could grab a Lantern here. I think I'm gonna grab a Lantern. That's a Steam Vents. I don't really care about that right now. I will let them have the Steam Vents. Flage hitting this Construct token would suck. That would suck. That's really what I don't want here. Not going to declare blockers. I don't think I could block even if I wanted to. Oh, I could. It doesn't have flying. The dragon that doesn't have flying. Oh, wait, no, it does have flying. Never mind. Well, if it has flying, then that presents a problem. All right, here comes the Flage that I knew about. Off of the Steam Vents. Just going to hit me. And here I am going to fetch a Underground Mortuary. Just not convinced that what I need right now is another Urza Saga. I think I'm gonna bin that. Yeah, I'm gonna bin that. Extirpate is decent. Oh, Profane Tutor's coming off suspend. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Profane Tutor always comes off suspend right when I need it to. What I could do is I could grab 2 Assassin's Trophies, or I could just play Ensnaring Bridge, and that would take care of the Flage and the Scion. Need to line up my answers here. So I could grab Extirpate for Flage, and that would take care of Flage, but not much else. I could grab Assassin's Trophy and use that on Leyline, but then the Scion's still hitting me in the air. I could grab Ensnaring Bridge and just land Ensnaring Bridge this turn. And then I can grab a Mill Rock, and then next turn I can trophy the Leyline before Valakut becomes a problem. I could just trophy the Valakut directly. I think the play is to get Ensnaring Bridge here. And I still get a draw, which is good. I don't believe I want to make a dope right now. I think I'm going to search up Pyxis. I'll grab Pyxis. There's another Ensnaring Bridge on top of my deck. Do I want that Ensnaring Bridge or do I not want it? If I fetch right now and they're able to attack, then I am in big trouble. Did I side out my Underworld Cookbook? Yep, there it is. Okay, so I don't have a way to gain life now. I could Duress and then Ensnaring Bridge. That would bring me down to 4. Does this Flage would enter? I think I'm going to do it though. I think I kind of have to. I have to make sure they don't have anything in their hand. Mountain Plains. All right. Okay, and now I'm going to fetch my second basic swamp, and I'm going to play Ensnaring Bridge. Do I want them having this Valakut? I don't believe so. I think I need to exile here. Yeah, Leyline of the Guild Pact is fine. And now I get to trophy their Valakut. I'm going to draw this Profane Tutor. Ooh, I do want that Pyxis. Let's go ahead and trophy that Valakut. That's going to remove that as an angle of attack for them. I really don't want them drawing that Omnath. Stock up, are you serious? All right, yeah, you cannot have stock up. I think they can have Scape Shift, though. But only just barely. Yeah. Only just barely. And that's only because this Thoughtseize is still in my hand. I've been sandbagging this for a long time. Scape Shift is gone. Now the question is, do I play Profane Tutor or do I play Pyxis? And I think the answer is I play Profane Tutor. All right, and this game is in good shape. We are in good shape now. This is what a game in good shape looks like. That was really close. That was really close for far too long. I'm going to sandbag this Thoughtseize as well. I cannot cast this Thoughtseize without being victim to Flage. So I'm going to have to hold it probably for the rest of the game. Fortunately, my opponent doesn't really play 1-power creatures, I think. Yeah, you're going to want to keep that Wrath of the Skies on top. Oh my god. Okay, so how do I want to do this? Currently, Omnath is just a cantrip. But until I find my Grafdigger's Cage, I can't actually allow that. I can't actually take it with Thoughtseize. So it's just going to have to sit in their hand. I think I'm going to draw this Pyxis. Ooh, I could... Right. Profane Tutor's coming off Suspend. Uh-huh. So I could... Oh, I didn't bring in Grafdigger's Cage. I could grab Extirpate, which would allow me to take the Omnath out of my opponent's hand, because I would extirpate their Flages. I could grab Pithing Needle and just name Wooded Foothills. Yeah, I'm gonna grab Extirpate. All right, let's go ahead and... Do I actually even want to Thoughtseize them right now? Like, I could Thoughtseize that Omnath later on. I do think I want this Pyxis, though. So I'm going to draw the Pyxis first. I'm going to set an upkeep stop. And now I'm going to extirpate their Flages. Okay, they got one in the deck. That's fine. They could cycle this Omnath if they really wanted to. Just cycle Omnath into Omnath. But now I'm in an interesting situation where if I take one hit off of this Omnath, then I might be able to survive if I don't cast Thoughtseize. So I think I will exile here. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. This is really tight. Now I'm just back in a situation where I'm sandbagging a Thoughtseize that I can't cast. So I cannot allow them to draw another fetch land. They're just holding the land. I don't remember what land it was. But I can't allow them to draw another fetch land. I could grab Pithing Needle here, and I think I will. I'm going to name the land in play. And if they sacrifice it, then I'm going to name... What else have I seen? Like Flooded Strand or something. Yes. Arid Mesa. Wow, this is an incredibly tight game. They're going to play their Omnath now in an attempt to cycle into that Scape Shift. I'm not going to allow them to draw it. Or that. They can have a Consign. And I will immediately take that Consign. Alright, Consign is down. And I'm just going to let them draw this Consign. It's just not that important. No fetch lands for you. No Leyline Binding for you. Stomping Ground is fine. They did not consign the Ensnaring Bridge. It's good. Can't have Valakut. Arid Mesa is okay. And this is where quick play is important because I'm running quite a bit behind on clock. So I am going to start activating just a little bit to try and get everyone's library size down. Gonna grab Lantern, I guess. Okay, Arid Mesas are down. Go ahead and just start taking cards. I want this Assassin's Trophy. Oh, this is Hexproof. Right. Well, in that case, they don't have any means of fetching, so I'm just going to exile here. Bride of the Elysian Grove. They don't play it. I think they might be trying to do something here. That's fine. They're holding their Arid Mesa. I think I need to try and win the game. Not that I haven't been trying to win the game, but, you know. Okay, so I'm going to be taking a single hit off of this Omnath. I'm going to... Actually, can I block this? First Strike, Hexproof, Lifelink, Trample, Vigilance. And block it. Okay, so that's fine that I'm holding things. All right, and now we're going to win. They're blockers. Very good. While it did have a ton of keywords on it, one of those keywords was not indestructible. Okay, we're going to win. Just barely. I'm going to draw my card, and then I'm going to exile everyone's decks. Okay, that was really tight. That was incredibly tight, actually. Oh man, I might actually time out. Uh-huh. So they got stock ups, which are terrifying. I think I might actually bring in Nature's Claim. I don't know if I'm bringing it in over Assassin's Trophy, but I think I might bring it in addition to Assassin's Trophy. I think I'm going to take out my extirpates. I'm going to be bringing in... Do I want to bring in Grafdigger's Cage? It shuts off Flage and Renin 6. But just bring in Pithing Needle Cookbook over what? I kind of liked the extirpates. I do need to take a more aggressive stance here. And extirpates aren't particularly aggressive. I could just submit as is. No, but I really want at the very least like a cookbook, I think. I don't think I'm taking out my Mox Opal. I think I might take out a Pithing Needle. Bring in a cookbook. Let's try that. This is a decent hand for what I'm trying to do. I think I'm going to keep it. I want this game over quickly. It doesn't have a lock, but it has quite a bit of disruption in it. If my opponent opens on a leyline, there's a very good chance that I fetch shock and claim it on their draw step. My opponent has Molt 5. This is going to bode well for me. Leyline of the Guild Pact. Yeah, I'm probably going to claim that to try and slow them down. Very good. Okay, let's go ahead and grab Overgrown Tomb, shock that in, and I'm claiming that right now. And I really hope that that slows them down. Looks like it's done something. That is a Lantern. That's very good for me. So I'm going to play out my Lantern. I'm going to Inquisition my opponents. I'm not going to Thoughtseize them. Mountain Draco Stomping Ground. That is exactly what I wanted to see. That is exactly what I wanted to see. All right, and they got a Flage now. Stomping Ground is tapped. Sign of Draco is down. That's fine. I'm going to play out my Mycosynth Gardens. I'm going to cast my Mishra's Bauble. And starting next turn, my constructs are going to be bigger than this Scion. They're going to swing in because they can. Wow, they did nothing, huh? Valakut's down. That's very interesting. Yeah, I'm just using my life total as a resource here, man. I'm going to grab... I would have grabbed Grafdigger's Cage, but I can't do that. So instead, I'm going to grab Underworld Cookbook. I'm going to play out my Verdant Catacombs. And I'm going to attempt to kill them. I'm going to discard this Thoughtseize because I'm not discarding Flage anyway. Yeah, let's try and kill our opponent here. I find it very strange that they haven't been casting their Flage. I don't know why. Like, I'm not really gonna look a Gift Horse in the mouth, but still. They don't cast their Flage, we're gonna have a problem. So Flage is down, Sacred Foundry is down. They don't actually have enough cards in their graveyard to escape Flage with. I'm going to grab my Underground Mortuary here. And I think I keep that. I'm going to play my Fomori Vault. Do I play my Fomori Vault? I think right now, actually, I'm going to play my Ancient Stirrings. It's very interesting. Do I take Urza's Saga? Yeah, I think I'm going to take Urza's Saga. All right. And if I swing out, then I think I might actually be able to win this. I'm going to discard this Profane Tutor, because this would be a very close to a lethal attack. I only have to get one creature in, and I can just start popping foods to gain life. My opponent is drawing a Flooded Strand. I could have put them to 2 if I turned this Mycosynth Gardens into a Mishra's Bauble. I don't know how relevant that is. Oh, if they attack with Scion, then they just die. Because I just killed them on the crackback, right? I'm just going to pop this food now. I'm going to leave the option open to turn Mycosynth Gardens into a Bauble. Yeah, if they attack, they just die. They need to leave everything back as blockers. Flage does not have lifelink. It has First Strike and Vigilance. It only gains lifelink if it is black. I think they're out of options. What I have to do next turn is I have to cast this Pyxis, and that will make my constructs into 7/7s, and that is exact lethal, and they have to block both of the constructs. And then they're going to draw a Stomping Ground, and then they're going to die. Wow, the aggressiveness of Urza's Saga really coming out here. I think they're realizing that they don't have outs. All right, I'm just going to be very careful here. I'm going to make sure that what I'm doing is correct. I don't even have to cast Pyxis. I could just discard this for Mori Vault. Yeah, this is double lethal. They have to block both of these. And this game played out more or less exactly how I drew it up. Dang, that's crazy. All of their stuff dies. And I'm not even going to do anything else. I don't have to. And they give it up. Oh, okay, that was wild. Yeah, making a construct would have worked. Casting Pyxis would have worked. Discarding to Underworld Cookbook would have worked. Turning Mycosynth Gardens into a Mishra's Bubble would have worked. I had a lot of ways to do that. The important thing is I just needed an additional artifact. And one of the things that I'm learning as I'm playing Lantern Control online is that sometimes it's better to not get instantitis, where you need to just get that burning feeling where you're like, okay, I need to make every decision as late as I possibly can. Sometimes it's okay to just play your card, activate your ability, and then F6. Especially if you're in a high stress situation where you think that you might make a mistake later on. Just doing the thing now and then not having to worry about it later, especially when you know that your opponent doesn't have the agency necessary to combat what you're doing. It just makes it so that you don't screw up something that you've already won. Like if I had waited until the very last second to play Underworld Cookbook, and I had forgotten to activate Underworld Cookbook, and I forgot to activate Gardens, and then my opponent's Flage had first strike and it killed one of my constructs, that would have been pretty bad. That would have been me throwing a game that I didn't need to throw. But because I did it like this, I won. And I didn't give myself the opportunity to throw the game. All right, we are on the play again on round 3 versus Lucky. I will see if I can keep this. All right. I can get behind this hand. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but I can definitely do it. Let's go ahead and turn 1 Thoughtseize. I said, let's go ahead and turn 1 Thoughtseize. What, the server just decided to crash right as I decided to play? That was weird. And we're playing against this. Okay. So, I think Overlord is probably the take here. I can probably survive a single Witch Enchanter. Emperor of Bones is going to be able to bring back their Overlord, or whatever the hell they want to do. But I can Pithing Needle that. I think I'm just going to take the Overlord. I think I can fight through everything else. Godless Shrine is down. Aether Vial is down. I don't think that Aether Vial is the axis that I want to be attacking them on. Here I will simply suspend my Profane Tutor, I think. They've got 2 cards in hand that I don't know about. They played their Swamp. They have an Aven Interrupter, a Witch Enchanter, and an Emperor of Bones that just came down. So if they want to get their Overlord value in now, then they can. Mori Vault was a really good hit. That actually will allow me to play my Ensnaring Bridge, which I think I want to do right now. And now they have to choose if they're going to attack with the Emperor under the bridge and then adapt afterward, or if they're going to just adapt and then just kind of let it go. Oh, they played their Witch Enchanter as a land, huh? They're putting in a 2-drop. Is it a Felia? It's a White Orchid Phantom, huh? All right, well, that sucks, but I think I can work with it. They're gonna Flicker Wisp. All right, that's fine. And I think next turn I might just play another Ensnaring Bridge, although I'm not sure. Okay, Witch Enchanter is going to hit. Would love a land here, but I don't think I'm going to Profane Tutor for a land. I think I might just Profane Tutor for a Lantern here. If I draw a land, that would be fantastic. Could get an Urza's Saga, which is a Lantern in 2 turns. That would give them 2 draws. I could get a Pithing Needle, and then I could this turn Pithing Needle the Emperor of Bones, and then I could Pyxis Thoughtseize this turn as well. I don't think that's very good. They have an Aven Interrupter in hand, and I don't really like that. I think I need to get my Ensnaring Bridge down ASAP. I think I might just grab an Urza's Saga, rely on that being a Lantern in 2 turns, and then I can, like, bridge Pyxis this turn or something. Oh, just put another Urza Saga on top of my deck, why don't you? Okay. And I haven't decided if I'm going to Thoughtseize this turn or not. They have an Aven Interrupter and an Unknown in hand. Aven Interrupter on its own isn't that bad, but they're going to get 2 blind draws here. They also might get an Overlord trigger if they adapt here. I think I'm going to play out Pyxis. I think this might be a mistake. But I think what I want to do is I want them to use their Overlord to find something that they then can't, like, immediately put into play. And then I can Thoughtseize their hand next turn, and then I just have to fade 1 more draw, and then I'm okay. Yeah, they're just not doing anything. They're just going to swing for 6. It's a 2-2, huh? Given that they're on Ether Vial, they might not even be on Ketramos, which would be nice. Double Thoughtseize. Now that's interesting. I think I will fire 1 off now, then. If this gets Aven Interrupted, I think that's okay. That's fine. Thoughtseize number 2. Fatal Push and Solitude, huh? We will take... At least Solitude gains me life. I'll take the Fatal Push. And I will make a dude, because that's the only thing that I reasonably can do in this position. And now I have to hope that they miss for a little bit. They're going to adapt now. And they completely whiffed. Okay, that's really good news for me. If they whiffed on this draw step, then I might actually have a shot at winning. If they drew an Ephemerate, then I'm just dead. But I'll find out next turn. Overlord of the Balemark is exiled. That's fantastic news for me. Okay. Oops, I didn't tap my Urza Saga. Oh well. Go ahead and grab that lantern. That is an Emperor of Bones, huh? Yeah, I should have really tapped that Urza Saga. They don't currently have anything in hand that I know that is bad for me, I think. Yeah, it's just double Solitude. Maybe I should have saved that Thoughtseize, but I really just wanted to check. So I could try and take this Emperor of Bones now, but I don't think that's correct. I think I'm just going to play my land. I'm going to let them draw this Emperor, because they can't cast and activate this thing right now because their Ether Vial is on 3. So I have a couple of options for what I can do here. I can either try and find a Pithing Needle for this Emperor of Bones, or I can just make sure that they never have anything good in their graveyard. And I think I might just go down that path, and I'm not even going to bother with Pithing Needle on Emperor. All right, float your mana this time. I'm going to search my deck for Pyxis number 2. I am then going to... Yeah, I'll activate for Mori Vault. I'll discard this Profane Tutor. I kind of want something right now. Oh, well, I found a Pithing Needle anyway, so let's just go ahead and Pithing Needle that Emperor of Bones. All right. And now we're chilling. Don't really care about what they're doing now. It's kind of a miracle that I was able to make this, to pull this off, honestly. Hopefully I'll be able to burn a ton of time with these Emperor of Bones triggers too, because they have to decide. So I'm going to see if I can just do that. Lots of triggers, lots and lots and lots of triggers. Godless Shrine is fine. And now I'm just going to try and burn down their claw. I'm going to do nothing here. I will discard this. I will try and find a Shredder. That's very good. Mori Vault just taking over the game now. Fantastic. Emperor of Bones is Pithing Needled, which means that this Recruiter can safely go to the graveyard. And I think I will actually do that, because I'm going to have to keep them off of Overlord of the Balemark as well. Elio's fine. It's when it attacks. I have that guy Pithing Needled. Fantastic. Flicker Wisp is down. I'm going to draw this Bowmasters, but I'm not going to bother playing it. Just going to go ahead and grab a Lantern here. There's nothing that they can do to break out of the lock right now, so I'm going to F0. My opponent continues to struggle underneath the lock. And they are burning quite a bit of clock doing this. I don't even think I'm going to activate for Mori Vault anymore. Actually, no, that's a lie. I want more lock pieces, just in case. That's a bobble, I guess. Okay, and they finally concede. Don't know what was so special about turn 11 as opposed to like turn 6 or something when I actually got the lockdown, but yeah, we take those. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to sideboarding. So this does not appear to be a Ketramos build. I actually might side out Orcish Bowmasters because of that. They don't actually have a ton of card draw. So siding out Orcish Bowmasters and siding in Torpor Orbs is pretty damn clean as far as sideboarding like swaps go. Now, do I want to do anything else? Pithing Needle can hit Ether Vial and Emperor of Bones, but I'm not sure it can hit much else. It's probably correct to take out the Duress and replace it with Thoughtseize. And if I find the room, I would likely take out something and bring in Assassin's Trophy just so that I have outs to a Stony Silence and the like. I think I'm going to take out an Underworld Cookbook. I might even take out a Mox Opal. I don't think I should take out the Mox Opal. The one of Tutor Target is really useful. I don't want to go down on discard. Maybe I just leave in one trophy. Nature's Claim hits a lot of stuff and it doesn't have nearly as bad of a casting cost. Nature's Claim hits Overlord, it hits Ether Vial, it hits Stony Silence. What else does it hit? It doesn't hit Felia, which I would actually theoretically want to bring in an Assassin's Trophy for. I could see myself going down on Pithing Needle, but I don't think that's correct either. I'm willing to take the consistency hit. I could bring in Trophy and side out Mishra's Bauble. All right, let's try that. Let's see if that's any good. This is an interesting hand. I think I will... My opponent mulliganed? No, they didn't. Like, theoretically, this hand has lands and spells in it, but I think it might be a bit too slow. I think I'm going to mulligan this. This hand is better. I'm going to bottom one of the baubles. At least this hand gives me the option of trying to dig for discard. I mean, the previous one did as well, but it was just so slow. That Underground Mortuary was not good. They got an Ether Vial. That's an Ensnaring Bridge. That's a very good card to draw. I think I'm just going to play Mishra's Bauble here. I'm going to see what's on top of my deck. That is a Shredder. I don't think I want a Shredder right now. I think I'm just going to play Blooming Marsh into Pyxis, and I'm going to exile that. If I could find a Pithing Needle to hit this Ether Vial with, then that actually might save me quite a bit of time. Instead, I found another Stirrings. That looks like a Felia. That's a Felia if I've ever seen a Felia in my entire life. Okay, it is... Is it Stirrings time? Or is it Profane Tutor time? I think it's Profane Tutor time. I don't think I need to play Stirrings quite yet. Yeah, that's Felia. Felia is one of their best outs to Torpor Orb that they've got. Without Felia, they just don't have much in the way of answers to Torpor Orb. They could probably play like a Cathar Commando or something. But Ether Vial getting up to 2 is not fun. Flicker Wisp is not fun. They have to choose something here. They could choose one of my lands. They could choose my Pyxis. They could choose one of their own lands and leave up Ephemerate. Yeah, this is just absolutely crazy. They're going to hit something else here. Ah, they're going to hit one of my lands. Yeah, that's fair. All right, well, that play probably won them the game, honestly. They still have 3 cards in hand too, huh? That's crazy. That is a lot of cards in hand. Okay, so Ephemerate on top of the deck. They're gonna Thoughtseize me. Yeah, you got it. Now these Stirrings are just kind of rotting in my hand. Yup, that's a thing you can do. Ah, that is a thing that you can do. This Flicker Wisp just taking me off of lands is just not fun. I didn't even exile anything. All right, hoping for lands. That's not a land. I desperately, desperately need a black producing land here. Oh my god, Profane Tutor's coming off suspend. I think I'm going to grab Mox Opal. I really don't want them having that Overlord. I think I'm going to take Overlord. Ugh. Another Flicker Wisp, huh? I'm going to try Stirrings here. I hit a Lantern, a Bauble, a Fetch land. I can fetch for my Shock land here. And then I can Stirrings for something else. Where's my Shock land? Where's my Shock land? Did I, like, randomly exile my Shock land or something? Alright. Well, huh. Okay. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna take my Underground Mortuary. Jeez, that is a lot. That's bad. That's pretty bad. Do I want this land? I think so. I think I need to keep the land. Haven't decided if I want to, haven't decided if I want to take this Flicker Wisp yet, because if I do that, then my Mox Opal gets shut off. This is a really tricky situation. Do I let them draw the Flicker Wisp, or do I not let them draw it? If they draw the Flicker Wisp, then they can Violet in at instant speed, and the only thing I can do about that is a Thoughtseize. Would I even have enough mana for Thoughtseize? I'm getting hit down to 5. Thoughtseize would bring me to 3, and then I just die to either Flicker Wisp. But if I shuffle the Flicker Wisp, then I don't have the Lantern necessary to allow myself to draw this swamp, which I would need because my Mox Opal would be turned off and I couldn't use it to cast Ancient Stirrings looking for a bridge. And I couldn't even use my lands to cast Ensnaring Bridge to turn on the Mox Opal because I would not have a third land. I can't draw both third land and Ensnaring Bridge in this turn. I think this might be game. Not having that shock land really hurt a lot. It's exiled underneath this Pyxis. I just missed that. I don't think there's any way that I win this. I think I need to rely on them making a mistake, and in that case, I need to let them draw the Flicker Wisp. If they just... Oh, well. Okay, so what you're telling me is that there's just nothing I could do. They had the Witch Enchanter in hand anyway. Yeah, I'll go ahead and concede to that. That's fine. Okay, well... That was, interesting. It was very interesting. Just a bit too clunky, I think. They successfully went after my lands, and I just didn't have the resources necessary to do what I wanted, especially with all of these colored spells in my hand. Oh well, I think I'm going to just run it back. They haven't seen my Torpor Orbs yet, which is nice. I will be on the play. With this hand, 5 lands, really? I don't play that many lands. It's 5 lands, a Stirrings, and a Bridge. I can't keep that. I can't keep 5 lands. I can keep this. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna put back a Bauble. I'm gonna play my Bauble. My opponent has kept 7, which sucks. Mox Opal? Do I want Mox Opal? I think I actually might want Mox Opal. I'm gonna keep Mox Opal. No turn 1 play from my opponent. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and grab our Surveil land here. That is a Lantern. I definitely want to keep that. So what this allows me to do is play out Mox Opal, play out Mishra's Bauble, play out Lantern of Insight, and suspend Profane Tutor. And currently this Ensnaring Bridge is actually safer in my hand, so I'm going to leave it there. Emperor of Bones. I wonder if they keep that on top or if they mill that. They're really tanking. They decided to keep it. And no turn 2 play either, so they have either Bowmasters or Felia. I think I'm going to just draw this Ancient Stirrings. And I'm probably going to just immediately fire it off, I think. Ooh, Torpor Orb. I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna take Torpor Orb. And I'm gonna hope that they have Bowmasters and not Felia. Because next turn, I think I'm going to find a Thoughtseize or something. It's a Felia, damn it. All right. Emperor of Bones. Oh, and they just straight up had the Vindicate, huh? All right. Well, there's not much I can do about that. No targets for the Felia. This Profane Tutor is going to come off Suspend. I'm not sure what I need to get with it, though. I'm not sure what I need to get with this. I could get a Mill Rock, I could get a discard effect, or I could get an Urza Saga. If I get a Mill Rock, then I would be digging myself into discard to protect my Ensnaring Bridge once it comes down. If I get an Urza Saga and they just play a Witch Enchanter, then that's gonna feel terrible. I could just get another Torpor Orb. They played a Witch Enchanter as a land, which tells me that they might have like a Felia or something. Not a Felia, a Flicker Wisp. And they have a Solitude on top of their deck, so I don't think the constructs from Urza Saga are going to be particularly useful. I think I'm just gonna grab another Torpor Orb here. And I really wish that I had that Inquisition right now. I wish I could play Bridge, Torpor Orb, Inquisition, like all in the same turn. I think that I just need to rely on them not having another Vindicate in hand. I think that's just it. Vindicates are just brutal. They're going to blink the Torpor Orb. They're going to Flicker Wisp. That's going to cause a lot of trouble. And I want to know what they hit with this Witch Enchanter. They hit my Lantern. So that means that I'm going to have them shuffle. And I'm still deciding on if I want to activate this Mishra's Bauble or not, because I'm drawing an Inquisition this turn. I think I actually will, because I can play Bridge into Inquisition. Skyclave Apparition gets shut off by Torpor Orb. Let's go! All right, additional card is nice. Remember to play Ensnaring Bridge first. And this Pithing Needle can be skill-shotted. I could make a called shot, and I could name Cathar Commando with this Pithing Needle, or I could just Inquisition them and see if they have like a Vindicate or something in hand. I don't think I'm going to do the called shot, so I've already cast this Inquisition. They have a dead hand. I think I'm going to take the Ephemerate just in case they're able to break out of this for some reason. Okay, so Ephemerate is gone. I know that they're drawing a Skyclave Apparition, which is shut off by this Torpor Orb. Emperor of Bones is down, number 1. And I don't actually think I'm worried about Emperor of Bones now. I think what I am worried about is... what am I worried about? Not having a lock, honestly, that sucks. I believe I'm going to Fomori Vault now. I'm going to discard this Pithing Needle. I'm gonna see if I can find something good. Found second Fomori Vault. I found Ancient Stirrings and I found Pyxis. I'll keep Pyxis. And I'm gonna try and build up a lock here, hopefully before they draw a Vindicate. And the mana with which to cast it, because they're currently stuck on 2 lanes. That is the second Emperor of Bones. I don't care about that. I'm getting down to the wire on this. This is wild. All right, so I believe I will just play out my Pyxis, and then I'm going to discard this Shredder. I'm going to try and find something good. I will take another Ensnaring Bridge. I'm going to begin blind exiling here. Ensnaring Bridge number 2 is down. I could have probably spun that into something more useful. They're continuing to be stuck on 2 lands, which is good for me. I'm going to activate my Marsh Flats. I'm going to grab my Overgrown Tomb. I'm going to activate my Pyxis, and then I'm going to F6. I am 4 cards behind on my opponent. I will wait on that Thoughtseize. I do need to find my 1 remaining Shredder here. Hopefully it's not underneath this Pyxis. Wouldn't that suck? Okay, that's another Pyxis. I think I might just take Torpor Orb here. I think I'm going to stop messing with Pyxis. All right, spin this into hopefully a Lantern. Lantern. Oh, but Shredder's right there. I think I need to take the Shredder. Let's just hope that I didn't majorly royally screw myself with that play. Okay, and now I can start exiling with Pyxis, because I have the Shredder to break the parity here on the card sizes, the deck sizes. I can race my opponent using Shredder. I can mill them out before I mill them out using my 1 copy of Shredder that I have. Now I really need another Lantern here. Oh, none of these are Lanterns. That's an Ancient Stirring, so I'll take that. Wow, still nothing, huh? Okay. Now that I have my Codex Shredder, I'm okay with playing Pyxis, and I'm going to start F6ing here. This is going to be close. Ooh, they shocked in? Uh-oh. Well, that's what happens when you don't have a lock. So now I finally have the Lantern. Finally have the Lantern. Wow, they just have the nuts. Okay. Recruiter, Apparition, Solitude, Vindicate. This is what happens when you don't have a lock for 8 turns. Maybe I should have prioritized finding the Pyxis, and then I would have gotten the Shredder eventually. Oh, man. I think I'm going to take the Skyclave Apparition. Jeez, that is brutal. And I kind of just have to let them draw this Overlord. They took out one of my Ensnaring Bridges using the Vindicates. I'm going to... Oh, I have a Thoughtseize on top of my deck. Overlord of the Balemark is down. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. They've got Skyclave Apparition in hand. And I am fighting for my life. All right. Thoughtseize you. I can't worry about Recruiter of the Guard right now. I just have to take what I see, and I see the Skyclave Apparition. But I'm definitely just dead on board. Elia's down. Yeah, they can literally just Recruiter for this Witch Enchanter, and it's fine. Swamp. Play the Swamp. Recruiter of the Guard's gonna come down. I can't help but think that if I had chosen Lantern off of that Fomori Vault, then I would have been okay. I just don't think I have any outs now. How many Ensnaring Bridges do I have? They've destroyed an Ensnaring Bridge. I'm down all 3 Torpor Orbs. Jeez, dude. Yeah, no, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Wow, that's crazy. Ugh. So there was a decision point on turn like 11 or something where I could have grabbed a Lantern of Insight, and I chose not to. If I had grabbed that Lantern, then I would have been able to Thoughtseize my opponent, and I would have been able to take their Wrath of the Skies. And I would have been able to start a lock. I would not have had more cards in my opponent than them, but that might have been okay. I might have been able to get away with that. Yeah, I chose the Shredder instead of the Lantern, and I think that cost me this match. Dang, that sucks. All right, well, don't make that mistake. God, Lantern just punishes every single mistake that you make. All right, on to round 4. All right, we are on the draw this time, finally, on round 4 versus Draco. This is a very good hand. I will keep this. All right, my opponent has mulled to 5. That's fantastic news for my Thoughtseize deck. Orderly Plaza. Oh, yes, we're playing against Belcher. I am going to lead on a Catacombs, maybe? I think I'm going to actually lead on Mishra's Bauble because I want to see what the top card of my deck is. That is an Inquisition. I want that Inquisition. I'm going to Lantern. There's Belcher. Play to Soporific Springs as a land. That's fantastic for me. Thundertrap Trainer is coming down. They did a Flare of Denial. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to bait out that Flare of Denial using this Inquisition. They just let it go. Okay. Flare and Archaeologist. I think that's perfectly reasonable. Gives me a little bit of time to try and find a Pithing Needle for those Charbelchers that will come down eventually. I don't even think I'm going to worry about the Lotus Bloom. Orcish Bowmasters is interesting. I don't think I want it. Oh, I shouldn't have played a land in case I found a, Urza Saga, huh? Let's do Underground Mortuary, keep that Shredder on top. I'm not playing any 2-drops this turn anyway. Yeah, I'll take a Codex Shredder. Okay. Codex Shredder is fine. Let's check to see how many counters that thing has on it. It's got 2 counters. I think I will mill that Sink into Stupor. Disrupting Shoal, huh? Okay. Alright, Fomori Vault. Come on, find me something good. Do I want to find something good off of it? I think I do. I think I would love it if I could find Pithing Needle for those Goblin Charbelchers that will eventually be coming down. My opponent can still win this. I can either try and keep them off lands. I think I'm just going to try and keep them off lands. I'm going to discard this Ensnaring Bridge. I'm going to try and find something good. Orcish Bowmasters. All right, fine. That Inquisition will eventually be good. See if I can keep them off of just this land. Another Lotus Bloom is probably fine. I don't have a particularly strong lock here, by the way. Would love a stronger lock. Lotus Bloom. So they can, next turn, cast a Charbelcher, but they cannot activate it. I think this turn I will take this Inquisition. I'll Inquisition their Disrupting Shoal. Oh, but I could get Urza Saga online this turn. I think I'm going to do that. I think I have to do that. I'm going to discard my... I think I'll just discard my Ensnaring Bridge. And this will get Pithing Needle online underneath the second Lotus Bloom. Wow, 2 Sagas, sure. And now I'm perfectly fine with them drawing this Disrupting Shoal. I just need them to not draw a land next turn. Okay, Disrupting Shoal is going to come down. They're going to land a Goblin Charbelcher, but they don't have the mana necessary to activate it. I've been taking 1 a turn for a decent chunk of time. I'm gonna have to solve that problem eventually. Seagate Restoration is a big no-no. Second Goblin Charbelcher is fine. I think here I will Inquisition them. I'm going to take one of their shoals. Yeah, I'm going to take one of their shoals. I'm going to play out Pyxis. I'm going to play my Blooming Marsh. I'm going to create a dude. And I'm going to pass. Second Lotus Bloom will come off Suspend next turn, but that's not fast enough. And I don't care about that Drawar Disruption anymore. Yeah. Okay. I did make a bunch of dorks with this Urza Saga, but the real important thing about it is that I was able to grab Pithing Needle for Goblin Charbelcher. There we go. Okay, and they conceded to that. Okay, so I like playing against Blue Belcher because I think it's a really good matchup for Lantern, and we've kind of been struggling to find good matchups lately. So let's go ahead and begin sideboarding. How do I want to sideboard? I think I want to take out at least 2 Ensnaring Bridges. I might be willing to take out a 3rd. I'm not sure. Orcish Bowmasters being present is going to be quite nice because it means that I will be less likely to die to just random, I don't know, like Harbinger of the Seas beats. But I'm not convinced that I actually want them. I do know I want the Pithing Needle. And I don't want the Underworld Cookbook. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's all fine. Yeah, I think the Orcish Bowmasters might come out, and I think I just want all of this additional discard in. But that leaves me with a few cards. Is there something else that I would want to bring in? I could just 3rd Ensnaring Bridge and call it a day. I could bring in Assassin's Trophy, go down by a bridge, but that would leave me significantly more vulnerable to Harbinger of the Seas. Oh, that's not good. Why not? Can you still hear me? Is my mic still on? Okay. Thanks, I appreciate the heads up. I could bring in Nature's Claims. I don't think I'm going to. I have been blown out by Harbinger of the Seas enough times by this deck to where if I was going to bring in something, I'd probably just bring in 2 Assassin's Trophies over the 2 Ensnaring Bridges. Screw it. Don't screw it. Submit. I'm not gonna mess with it too much. I have no basic green. That's a big deal. And also, I don't think that 10 discard is going to fail me. I will keep this hand with lands and spells. Double discard is very good. Lotus Bloom is gone. They played an Orderly Pausa. All right, so Blooming Marsh, Inquisition you. Interesting. This is a pretty good hand, I think. It's going to be quite difficult for me to disrupt this hand. I could take a Sink into Stupor, and then they play a Sink into Stupor as a land, and then they play Thunder Trap or Philagi. I think I'll do that. Them having double Lotus Bloom is very nice for them. Wow, they just ripped the Seagate Reborn off the top. Okay. All right, so I think I'm going to Stirrings here, trying to find a Pithing Needle, but I don't end up finding one. I will take a Lantern of Insight, and then I can either Inquisition them and take that Sink into Stupor, or I can play Lantern and I can Inquisition them next turn. I could Mishra's Bauble, target them, see what they're going to draw, and then decide. I think I will do this. I don't have any way to manipulate the top of anyone's deck right now. Disrupting Shoal is just not good right now. I think I'm going to lose this. I'm going to Inquisition them. Ooh, I don't have my land out. I'm going to Inquisition them. I'm going to take their Sink into Stupor. They're going to draw a Disrupting Shoal. That's an Urza Saga. That's very good, but it might be too slow. Philagi Archaeologist is done. They took a Consign to Memory. If I can just rip a Pithing Needle, I would love that. I did not. Okay, so... Oh, their Lotus Blooms are coming down next turn. I think I'm just dead. Yeah, I'm just dead. I don't have any counterplay to this. They just turn forward me through double discard. Okay. Well, I can cast this Mishra's Bauble. I can take a look at their top card. There's a Bane Veil. Did I bring in my Assassin's Trophies? I brought in 1. No, wait. I only had 2 in my sideboard, right? Okay, so I'm playing to no outs. Oh, man. Where were you, like, last turn? No, they don't need land because they have 2 Lotus Blooms on suspend. So if they just cast their Lotus Blooms, then they have 8 total mana, which is more than enough to cast and activate Charbelcher. Pithing Needle sitting on top of my deck feels terrible. I'm going to concede. All right. Okay, well, now we might be able to change strats. I didn't see a Harbinger of the Seas, but that doesn't mean they don't have them. I think I might just run it back. I could take out these Ensnaring Bridges and bring in trophies, but then I'm going to get blown out by Harbinger again. I'm really worried about getting blown out by Harbinger. I'm not going to be worried about getting blown out by Harbinger. I think I'm going to take Why Not's advice, and I will bring in the 2 Nature's Claims. Although, should it be Nature's Claim or should it be Assassin's Trophy? Because Assassin's Trophy can hit their lands and their dopes. I could hit a Tameshi with Assassin's Trophy. I'm on the play. I'll bring in Assassin's Trophy over Nature's Claim. I'm going to leave in 1 Ensnaring Bridge as a quote-unquote tutor target. Man, yeah, I would like to be on the play. Well, the 1 in Ensnaring Bridge as a tutor target is here. Jeez, do I keep this? It's just so incredibly mediocre. The Ensnaring Bridge is already a mull to 6. Mishra's Bauble is for consistency. I don't have a lock. I think I'm going to mull this. I just don't think this is the sort of hand that I want in this matchup. This is much, 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 much better. I will keep, and I think I bottom a Shredder. I think I bottom a Shredder. Do I bottom Shredder or do I bottom Bauble? I'm going to bottom... I don't know what to bottom, man. If I bottom Shredder, then Bauble would allow me to possibly draw into more discard. That would be nice. Maybe a Needle? If I bottom Shredder, if I keep Shredder, then I would have more long-term ability to find things. I think I'm going to bottom the Shredder, and I'm going to keep the Mishra's Bauble. And I'm going to use Mishra's Bauble now to try and find like a Pithing Needle or something. An Assassin's Trophy, huh? I'll keep that. I'll keep an Assassin's Trophy. I will play out Lantern. There's not really much that they can... Oh, I could have discarded perhaps I could have discarded a turn 1 Lotus Bloom. That's what they could do on turn 1. I hadn't thought of that. All right, yeah, glad I did what I did. Disrupting Shoal is in their hand. And I'm definitely for sure going to grab a basic swamp with this Verdant Catacombs. Yep, there's the basic swamp. Another Duress. That's pretty good. I will lead on Duress here. They forced it. Wow, what do they have in hand? They forced it. I mean, sure. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, why is that there? Give me a second. Okay, got that fixed. I think I'm going to let them draw the Harbinger of the Seas. They cannot play it this turn. And I have the basic swamp anyway. And I kind of want to be able to cast that Assassin's Trophy. I'm just amazed that they forced that discard spell. What on earth do they have? Are they like running low on lands or something? Are they going to force this Duress? They found a land, but I didn't really see what else they had. Huh. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm going to Duress them. They have more stuff. They have more stuff. Suppression Ray is a tap land. This is really interesting. This is really, really interesting. So Harbinger of the Seas is coming down. If not next turn, then the turn after. They have quite a bit of interaction here. And they have a win in that Goblin Charbelcher that I'm not really prepared for. So I need to decide what to do. I need to decide if that Harbinger of the Seas is going to come down or not. Flare of Denial being on top of their deck is not fun either. Kind of wishing I had kept that Shredder now. Although I guess I would be down a card if I had done that. This Assassin's Trophy could have been an Ensnaring Bridge. That's kind of funny. So, let's see what happens here. I could take their Suppression Ray and keep them off of lands. I don't think that's a winning strategy. I could take their Suppression Ray and I could hit a Seagate. That's interesting. Well, the problem is you can't really kill Harbinger while it's... You can't float mana and kill Harbinger because they're drawing a Flare of Denial next turn. And I'm trying to figure out a way to where I can get all of this sorted out without having to activate my Millrock. Oh, we're definitely not losing to clock. Don't worry about that. We got 10 minutes. This is plenty of time. I want to be able to keep up my Millrock is the problem. And I kind of passively want that Ensnaring Bridge because it's the only one in my deck right here. So if I take the... So I can't... So another problem here is that Harbinger of the Seas is not coming down next turn. It's just not coming down next turn. Unless I activate my Millrock or something. And they draw into an untapped land. So I'm not worried about that quite yet. If I take the Consign, then I would probably be able to resolve my Ensnaring Bridge, but then they would still have Goblin Charbelcher in hand. I could take the Suppression Ray and try and keep them off of lands. If I keep them off of lands, then they would still have Consign to Memory up, but Disrupting Shoal and Charbelcher would potentially be down. They can shoal my Ensnaring Bridge anyway, so I don't think that I need to rely on my bridge still being there. I think I need to shuffle that away. Oh, this is a really interesting decision right here. I think I'm going to take Suppression Ray. Boy, this is tight gameplay. This is the sort of tight gameplay that you come here to watch, isn't it? Let's see how well this Gambit plays off. That is wild. I think I'm going to take the Swamp. Now, do I let them draw the Flare of Denial? No. Thundertrap Trainer. I'm going to let them draw the Thundertrap Trainer. And now, I'm going to hit their land. I mean, this is why I brought in... That's reasonable. That's completely reasonable, I think. All right, that's fine. Bit of a misplay. I don't know how much that actually mattered, though. I have an Inquisition. So I might actually... Ooh, I have a second Inquisition. So I think I'm going to actually pivot here. I'm going to take... Is this an untapped? No, it's not untapped. I'm going to take Consign to Memory. Bane Veils played as a land. And now I'm just getting beat down with a bunch of dopes. I can possibly find this Inquisition and take their Harbinger. I think I'm going to do that. That's not a runner. Yeah, I'm going to take Harbinger here. Now the question is, do I mill this Hydroelectric Specimen because it represents an untapped mana source? Yeah, because I don't want to have to be put in a situation where I'm desperately digging for an out to Goblin Charbelcher. Oh my god. All right, fine. They're definitely bolting this in and casting Charbelcher right now, yeah? There it is. Hand is empty. We're going to Clown Town. This Fomori Vault is too slow. This Urza Saga is too slow. And something good? Ancient Stirrings. Oh, and I missed. Ooh, that hurts. Damn, that stinks. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards down. Was my Pithing Needle. Okay, that was... Okay, that's a lot. So maybe Charbelcher is not as good of a matchup as I thought because I've lost the last 2 matches to it. Just, that was pretty intense. Maybe I could have played this differently. I don't know. I'm not sure. Taking the Suppression Ray was a really big gambit, and that didn't really pay off very well, I don't think. If I had taken the Charbelcher, and just kind of let the Harbinger go. That might have been better. But they might have just had me in Zugzwang there. Like, I might have just not had the resources that I needed to do the things that I needed to do. Oh well. I'm not going to worry about it too terribly much. I'm just going to move on to the last round. Okay, we are on the play on round 5 versus Marxist. I will try and keep a hand that's decent. This hand is decent. Mox Opal makes this hand tick. Although if this was a land, then I would have still kept this. Okay, so Blooming Marsh into Mishra's Bauble, into Pyxis, into Mox Opal, into Inquisition Your Face. Ah, it's Storm. Oh, they're playing the Gifts Ungiven version that I saw on the Epic Storm a few days ago, or yesterday, or something like that. I don't know, I don't have a really good sense of time. So I can take their Ral, and then with my Thoughtseize, I can take the Gifts Ungiven, and then they're doing what? Spinning their wheels with Preordain? Okay. All right, that's a Profane Tutor. So do I want to Stirrings and try and hit a land? Do I even need to Stirrings and hit a land? They didn't scry top with Preordain. Probably should have checked that before taking my turn. If I Stirrings, what am I looking for? A Lantern? I'll take a Lantern here. Yeah, I'll take a Lantern. And now I just need to hope that they don't have, like, exactly the nuts. Well, they didn't do anything. I think I'm going to exile with Pyxis. I don't want them having consistency. And I will just Bauble now. Alright, another Lantern. That's very good. I would like to pay the life. I will Thoughtseize you again. Gifts, Ritual, Ritual, Ritual. They actually cannot... Oh, interesting. They just didn't play Ral. Didn't they play Ral? So I'm not cutting them off of mana anytime soon. I think I just need to take the gifts here. Do I just take the gifts? Or do I skill shot gifts? I might just skill shot the gifts and take the Ral. I don't know what sorts of piles they have, though. I think I take gifts. I think I'm still going to take gifts here. All right, let's go ahead and suspend this Profane Tutor. Holding up a Pyxis activation. And I guess while we're having a little bit of downtime here, keep in mind that even though the opening that I had was pretty impressive, it kind of petered out very quickly. Like, it was very strong, I guess. I don't know. I feel like it could have also gone pretty wrong. All right, Lantern, Shredder. Actually kind of really want that Thoughtseize. So Consider is getting out of their hand. They drew the Manamorphose. I think I'm gonna take this Gifts, if they'll let me do it. They did let me do it. They're fetching. It's a Grape Shot. Yeah, Grape Shot's fine. I think they have to cast Ral here. Yeah, okay, good. Ral's down. And they have tons of mana, but nothing to do with it. They can bring Ral all the way up to 7 loyalty. They can plus him. And then next turn, I would just grab Pithing Needle for a Ral's backside. But now, I might do something different. I actually might not. I actually still might just grab Pithing Needle for Ral's backside. Yeah. Land isn't great, but, you know, I'll burn through those eventually. Good thing that they didn't burn all of their stuff on Ral. Polluted Delta is fine. Playing that as a land for turn. Blue fetches, interesting. Yeah, getting in there, get those Ral beats in. And I pretty badly want more things to do. I don't think I'm going to tap out of what I've got in order to do it, but I really would have loved to see that Profane Tutor last turn. Or this turn, I guess. Or last turn now, I guess. Whatever. Remand would allow them to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, because they would remand it. 4 plus 7, so that's 11 damage. I think remand is fine. Yeah, remand's fine. I'll keep this. I'm going to take that Grape Shot. Now remand is just a cycler, and I have a Thoughtseize on top of my deck here. Instant Flames. This is what we have been saving all of our stuff for. Alright, so Manamorphose is down. My opponent has been incredibly patient. This has been quite good for them. They can remand their Manamorphose, and then they can Manamorphose again. Maybe I should have stopped them on their draw step. I think I should have done that. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. We should have had this fight on their draw step so that their mana expires. Although I'm not sure how much that would have mattered. I think I'm just gonna go for a shuffle. It's a really low commitment option. They let it go, but now they've got a Flame of Anor on top of their deck. They control a wizard. So basically that did nothing, but I can mill them now. Yeah, they're remanding their own Monomorphos. Yeah, they've just been really patient with this whole thing. Okay. So they're remanding their Monomorphos here. They're gonna draw Preordain. They could let this mill resolve and mill Monomorphos. Oh, they've got Baral. They've been cooking. They know what they're doing. I wonder what that last card in hand is. I must have lost track of it. Okay, they're going to scry 2. They drew a Flooded Strand. Oh, it was Monomorphos. Of course, I forgot about that. They're attempting to go off. They've just exercised incredible patience. This is fantastic for them. They're going to do the Preordain now, and there's just not much I can do about this. They found a Baral. They're going to cast Baral. And now they're out of gas. Wow, that was really scary, actually. That was really scary. I could have very easily lost there. I think I just got really, really lucky. Urza Saga. Urza Saga? Yeah, Urza Saga. All right. Jeez, dude. Absolutely terrifying. I am absolutely sandbagging this Inquisition. You can't convince me not to. And they scoop up. My opponent knows what they're doing. This is an incredibly skilled combo player, and I think I just got extremely lucky. I'm not even playing a Grafdigger's Cage in the main deck of this build. Jeez Louise. All right, begin sideboarding. Well. What do I bring? Grafdigger's Cage, get in. Assassin's Trophies, maybe. I think that this Duress and the Discard and Extirpate package is way more important than that, though. I can side out every single last one of my Ensnaring Bridges if I decide to keep in some Orcish Bowmasters. Now, they might be able to do a smaller Empty the Warrens Storm out. I have to be worried about that. Do I side out another Pithing Needle and just keep in my Bowmasters? I'll try it. I haven't played Bowmasters versus Storm yet. I don't know how good it is. But they had Monomorphoses and Flame of Anors and Rayman's and stuff like that. Might be good. This hand's garbage. They mulliganed. I'm gonna mulligan. This hand is much better. I think I will bottom a Blooming Marsh. They're gonna Preordain. They scried top bottom with the Preordain. And I am not going to play around. Grafdigger's Cage is coming down right now. I could have played Lantern of Insight. I don't know if that was correct or not, though. Baral is going to come down. That's fantastic. And now, I think I just hold open Orcish Bowmasters, honestly. I'm going to hit their Baral. This isn't going to deal any damage to them directly, but it is going to slow them down quite a bit, I hope. They can't play Monomorphos. They can't play another cantrip. All right, now what? I can play Verdant Catacombs and grab a Surveil land and play Lantern. I can create a Construct, which I don't think is going to be that good. I think I'm just going to play out my Lantern. They're drawing a land, I'm drawing a Bauble. Don't think I want that Bauble. I'm not going to attack with this guy, obviously, but do I attack with this just to send a message? I don't think so. If it was a 3-power creature, I'd probably attack with it. They played a land other than the one that I knew of. And they're passing, huh? Go ahead and grab that Underground Mortuary. I do not want that Mishra's Bauble. Graveyard for you. Pyxis is very good. I want that Pyxis. Okay, so I think I am going to create a dude here because I have nothing else to do. Although I guess I could have held up a Mycosynth in the Gardens for this Grafdigger's Cage. Yeah, that probably would have been good to do. Do I want Pithing Needle here? I don't think so. Underworld Cookbook isn't particularly good. Could just get a Pyxis. I think I'm going to get a Pyxis. And I will fetch Basic Swamp. I'll play Pyxis. Making the Construct might have been a mistake. Like, do I take them off this Monomorphos? I'm not sure. I think I'm going to let them decide if they want to draw it or not. Should have held up the Mycosynth Gardens. I think I will allow them to draw the Monomorphos. They continue to play lands that I don't know about, though. So they have Island, Monomorphos. If their last card in hand is Past in Flames, that might suck. I think I'm going to take them off of mono. It's fine. I will... I think I'm going to continue to hit the Brawl. Well, this is going to be a significantly weaker Past in Flames than most. Right. What are they going to draw? Flame of Anor, huh? And they're going to Monomorphos now. That's fine. Really glad that I pointed all of these at their Baral, for sure. That Baral is going to die. So they're going to draw 2 and deal 5 to my Bowmasters, but it's going to be too late for that. Bowmaster triggers are still going to happen. So I think what I'm going to do here is nothing. I'm going to let them draw their Monomorphos, and they're going to get 1 additional draw. It's a Desperate Ritual. That was good. 3 are already going to Baral, so I'm going to put the additional here. They're going to Desperate Ritual on top of this. They're going to Monomorphos on top of this too, drawing a Scalding Tarn. They have another Monomorphos on top of their deck. Preordain from their graveyard with Flashback. What other things have Flashback? That's their last... They don't have anything in their graveyard that has Flashback. And their hand is all lands. Even if they cast this Baral, they can't do anything with it. I'm gonna let it go. They drew a Desperate Ritual. And they gave it up. Okay. Again, my opponent in that last round, extremely skilled with what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. That is, if you're watching this, hopefully you're not watching this live. Hopefully you're not watching this live. But if you're watching this video, I forget what your name was, like Cherries or something. You have a lot of skill, and I have a lot of respect for that. Oh, let's go ahead and wrap up the stream and video, shall we? Okay, so now we are going to talk about how Bowmasters fits into Lantern Control. Honestly, I didn't see Bowmasters as much as I would have liked to think. It was kind of dead later in the game when I already had things wrapped up. But versus that last round in Storm, it seemed very, very nice. We didn't really get many opportunities to punish opponents for drawing a ton of cards, except in round 5, where it just absolutely popped off. Being able to kill their Baral was extraordinarily relevant. And while it presented a threat, I'm not convinced that that threat was necessary in order to win. Even with my misplay in round 2, I think that I was doing okay. But still, I don't think I have enough data from this league to determine if Orcish Bowmasters is good or not. Again, this didn't show up as much as I thought it was. So I'm probably going to be trying this again next league, unless something weird happens to shake it up. Nothing happened this league. Nothing happened. Maybe I would have wanted an Assassin's Trophy in the main. Maybe I would have wanted a Grafdigger's Cage in the main. I think that's what I ended up taking out to make room for this Bowmasters. Yeah, that was it. It was a Trophy, a Pithing Needle, and a Grafdigger's Cage. I think Grafdigger's Cage might have made my life a little bit easier, so perhaps I'll bring in a Grafdigger's Cage and take out a Bowmasters for next league. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. I don't think that 2 Needle was that big of an issue this time. Honestly, I think I just need to get better at the deck. I just need more practice.